Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh. I do so by Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is Ward Ratazach from the city of SICARII, New Jersey, New York. Back at it again with another lesson. Just a quick video. We'll go over Isaiah 11, verses 1 through 9 in the GNT. Mainly I'm using the GNT for the most part. I'm going to use my KJV as well. King James out here as well. So, all right, so, and this is a beautiful chapter. Verses 1 through 9 is beautiful. And I'm just going to go through it and break it down, right? So, without further ado, let's begin. This is Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 1 in the GNT. It says, the royal line of David is like a tree that has been cut down, right? But just as new branches sprout from a stump, so a new king will arise from among David's descendants. And this king is talking about Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And we go to, now I'm going to go to the King James. Go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. It says, this is the book of the generation of Yahweh Shai, the son of David. See, the son of David means a descendant of David, right? The son of Abraham. He's a descendant of David and Abraham. And we go to verse 5. It says, and Salmon begot Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begot Obed of Ruth, and Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David the king, and then David the king begot Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias. So we see that he's a descendant. We see that David is in the royal lineage of Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai is of the lineage of David. Now let's go to show further proof. Let's go to the book of Luke. Where's my page? Salakia. Book of Luke, chapter 2 and verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. We see that Joseph is the father of Yahweh Shai, right? So we see that he is the lineage of David, right? And let's go to Romans chapter 1 and verse 3, concerning his son Yahweh Shai our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. So boom, right? So this king, which will arise, will be Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Shai is a descendant of David, right? He's our king, he's our Lord, right? We're going to go back to Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 2, GNT. The spirit of Yahweh will give him wisdom and the knowledge and skill to rule his people. Now when you go to so we're going to go into KJV, Genesis 49 and 12. It says, his eyes shall be red with wine and his teeth white with milk, right? The white is talking about what? The wisdom, right? The wisdom that Yahweh Shai is going to have, because he's going to have wisdom causes a man's face to shine, right? And we go to, let's go to Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 1. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. So see that? So Yahweh Shai, he's gonna have this wisdom, right, and the knowledge and the skill to rule his people, because the Most High is gonna make him shine, right? And remember, all the wisdom comes from the Most High, and the Most High told us that this is gonna be the man that we have to obey, right? Like the words that are written in red are the words are also known as law, of course, pursuant to Deuteronomy 18 and 18, right? So we'll continue off. It says Isaiah 11 and verse 2. I read it from the top again. The spirit of Yahweh will give him wisdom and the knowledge and skill to rule his people. He will know Yahweh's will and honor him, right? And when it says rule his people, because Yahweh Shai is going to be the ruler. Let's go to Matthew 2. Matthew 2 and verse 6 in the KJV. And thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah, art not thou least not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. See that? So Yahweh Shai is going to rule his people, right? Back to the GNT, Isaiah 11:3, and find pleasure in obeying him. So right, so we're gonna find pleasure in obeying Yahweh's son, Yahweh Shai. He will not judge by appearance or hearsay. And then we see that we go to John 7:24, which I love to bring out, right? We can stop the carnality. It says John 7:24, judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. That's why we have to try the spirit, as 1 John 4:1 says, right? Back to the GNT, Isaiah 11:4, he would judge the poor fairly and defend the rights of the helpless. At his command, the people will be punished, and evil persons will die. See that? So Yahweh Shai, he was balanced, and he had just judgment, just like the Most High, right? Because it says he and the Father were one, right? And you know he was commanded to do whatever the Most High told him to do, right? Verse 5, he will rule his people with justice and integrity. Verse 6, wolves and sheep will live together in peace, and leopards will lie down with young goats. Calves and lion cubs will feed together, and little children will take care of them. Cows and bears will eat together, and their calves and cubs will lie down in peace. Lions will eat straw, and cattle do. Even a baby will not be harmed if it plays near a poisonous snake. See that? So it's going to be peace on this earth. Again, why? Because when Yahweh Shai is ruling, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked are in authority, right, the people, they mourn. So we need to have a righteous ruler. We need to have, right, because right now we're without a king. We're without a ruler. When Yahweh Shai comes back on the scene, all that's gonna stop. All that wickedness, all that atrocity, all evil is gonna be put to an end, right? And I'll show you that in another precept. Let's finish this off. It says, verse 9. Right, so like before I continue, right, we're gonna be at peace with the animals. Again, also there's a precept in Job, I forgot where it is, but we're gonna have peace with the beasts of the earth, right? Just like the Noahic covenant and the Adamic covenant, right? Isaiah 11:9 GNT, on Zion, Yahweh's sacred hill, there will be nothing harmful or evil, right? When it says Zion, it's talking, of course, before we are a place, we're a people. So hills was talking about mountain, which means government, and it's talking about our, you know, like the Yahweh is the governor of his government, which is his people, the Israelites, right? So the Israelites were going to have peace, right? And it's also talking about the land as well, right? The land will be full of knowledge. See that? The land will be full of knowledge and of Yahweh, as the seas are full of water. So see that? It's gonna be so much knowledge. It's gonna be beautiful again. So now we're gonna go to Isaiah chapter 2. And we're going to read verse 2 in the GNT, right? It says, in days to come, the mountain where the temple stands, right, the government, right, will be the highest one of all. So we're going to have that rulership. We're going to be the highest. We're going to be above all the nations, right? It says many nations will come streaming to it. So these nations, right, the heathens and all of that, they're going to come to us, right? And they're going to come flowing to us, right? Because we're the top, right? We're at the top, right? Just like Esau is ruling right now, right? And we go to Esau for all things. These nations are going to come for us for all things, right? It's going to be basically reversed, right? The roles are going to get switched, right? It says, verse 3, and their people will say, let us go up to the hill of Yahweh, to the temple of Israel's God. So they're going to come to us, and they're going to come learn from us, right? He will teach us what he wants us to do. So the nations are going to come and ask, and well, what do you want us to do? Right, we will walk in the paths he has chosen. Right, they're going to come and say, well, whatever you want us to do, let us do it. Right. For Yahweh's teachings come from Jerusalem, and from Zion he speaks to his people. So they're going to know, well, in order for us to understand your God, right, we have to go to you. That's why it says the nations are going to bow before us. They're going to serve us. Right. We're going to own them as slaves, man. Right. But they're going to, but the world's going to be at peace. Right, because when the righteous are in authority, the people are going to rejoice, and the nation, the world itself is going to be like a utopia. It's going to be peace on earth, man. Once again, Salakia. Right, so it says from Zion he speaks to his people. Right, the Most High is going to speak to his people, just like Moses, just like Yahweh spoke to Moses And Moses went to go talk to the people. There was a mediator. So we're going to be the ultimate mediator for the rest of the world, right, as a nation. Verse 4, he will settle disputes among great nations. That's why there's Salaki, and there's always an order. So order, there's a chain of command of everything. That's why even the Camp Scout order, right? We got different ranks, the military, all of that, right? There's ranks to this, right? So the nations, they are nothing, but they're going to come to us and say, okay, we got to learn from these people because those are God's people, right? He will settle disputes among great nations, right? They will hammer their swords into plows. So they're going to hammer their swords into plows, meaning what? They're going to now be what? Slaves, right? They're not, and why? Because like when you continue, it says, and their spears into pruning knives, right? Nations will never go to war, will never again go to war, never prepare for battle again, because there'll be no more war, there'll be no more battle. We won't be taught this anymore. They're not going to be taught to go to war anymore. This is also beautiful in the KJV as well, but the GNT is a beautiful translation as well. It says, now verse 5 says this, now descendants of Jacob, let us walk in the light which Yahweh gives us. So now he's saying, look, you Israelites, you have to walk in this light. If you want this peace on earth, you want to rule the world, you want to rule the nations, you have to keep these commandments, keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, and you have the faith in Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? So that way the world could be at peace again, right? So we can have peace on this earth, right? But the Most High, he's calling upon us. He's calling you back to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So we can have Yahweh Shai as our ruler, as our president, right? And these nations are gonna come flowing onto us, and they're gonna cleave onto us. Right? Just like when you read Isaiah 14 and verse 1, it says, Yahweh will once again be merciful to his people Israel. I'm reading the GNT. And choose them as his own. He will let them live in their own land again. Right? We're going to go back to our land, right? And foreigners will come and live there with them. Right? They're going to come, like I said, they're going to cleave unto us, right? And it says, many nations will help the people of Israel return to the land which Yahweh gave them. And there the nations will serve Israel as slaves. So they're going to serve us as slaves, right? And it says, those who once captured Israel will not be captured by Israel. And the people of Israel will rule over those who once oppressed them, right? See that? So that's plain upon tablets, right? Let's go to Isaiah 49, still in the GNT. Isaiah 49. Right, and verse 22, the sovereign Lord Yahweh says to his people, I will signal to the nations, and they will bring your children home. They're going to bring, listen, like I said, they're going to help the people of Israel return back to the land, right? It says kings will be like fathers to you. Queens will be like mothers. They will bow low before you and honor you. They will humbly show their respect for you. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. What is it? When Yahweh says that, he's basically saying, when you see this, you're going to know that I am your God. I did this. Right, I stamped that. You're going to know that when this comes to pass, I said that, right? And it says, no one who waits for my help will be disappointed, right? You see that? The Most High is so beautiful, man. It's so merciful. He's the best, right? Let me see, let me go Isaiah 60. I'm still in the GNT, Isaiah 60 and 14. The descendants of those who oppressed you will come and bow low to show their respect. All who once despised you will worship at your feet. They will call you the city of Yahweh, Zion, the city of Israel's holy God. You see that? That's so beautiful. The book of Isaiah is such a beautiful book. These nations are going to come to us. Let me read verse 16. Nations and kings will care for you as a mother nurses her child. You will know that I, Yahweh, have saved you, that the mighty God of Israel sets you free. See that? And when you continue reading this beautiful chapter of Isaiah 60, which goes along with the gospel in Isaiah 61. Beautiful, man. As a matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 61 and verse 5. My people, foreigners will serve you. They will take care of your flocks and farm your land and tend your vineyards. And you will be known as the priest of Yahweh, the servants of our God. You will enjoy the wealth of the nations and be proud that it is yours. See that? Your shame and disgrace are ended. You will live in your own land and your wealth will be doubled. Your joy will last forever. All praise and honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. See that? So all we gotta do is just keep these commandments and do it to the very end, right? And we're almost out of here. These prophecies have to come to pass. But I just wanted to, share a little love and joy and share this beautiful message that the Most High, put upon my spirit to bring out. Right, so with that being said, I give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh. I do so by Hashem Mashak Yahweh Shai. Links down below. You already know what to do. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe button. Right, share, like, please, comment. You know, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, at Ratazach, Instagram's down there. Feel free to DM me or whatever you know, or whatever. Right, you know, I do this for free. I don't care. Like this gospel is, you know, we're not supposed to sell this. We're not supposed to sell the truth. It's free to give. I'm not a Christian, right? So-called Christian where we give, you know, where we have to, you know, sell anything or pass a collection plate around. I'm not doing that, right? I give this freely because I love my people, but most importantly, I love the Most High God Yahweh, who told me to do this freely, right? It's out of the love that I have for the Most High, and I love my people because I'm a servant to Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, and to my people Israel, to give you guys the gospel, to give you guys this good news, right? To give you guys the love of the Most High, and of course to keep these commandments to the very end and to the best of my ability. And I want to share this with you that way you guys can get a little motivation to, you know, to keep going, man, and, you know, don't lose that faith, man, right? Keep the faith alive. Right, but with that, I give all praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.